Good evening, I'm back. I am your host, Jack Remington of the Jack Remington NFL channel. Week 10, 2023 season. Last week, still showing signs of life. There were 7 wins, 7 losses. We were 3 wins and 2 losses with teasers. I had a guy from pregame.com contact me. He messaged me. Please do a quick review of your teasers first. That way he doesn't want to go back and watch my other video from last week. So I'm going to do that really quick. Then I'm going to put the card, then I'll do the games. We won 3 wins, 2 losses with the teasers. We won the 6-point teaser. We had Miami plus 7.5 and the Bears plus 15.5. Won that one. 100 units. We lost a 6.5-point teaser. We had the Vikings plus 11.5 was the winning leg, but we got crushed with Seattle plus 12.5. They went and Baltimore destroyed them. We should have known better, but I thought Seattle could cover 12.5. They didn't. 7-point teaser, we had Cleveland minus 1 and Washington Commanders plus 10.5. Easy winner. We lost both ends of the 7.5-point teaser. We had the Jets plus 10.5 and we had the Rams plus 10.5. Both those teams, they just can't score. And the 8-point teaser one, we got to win with a $1.40 juice, big juice, I understand. We had the Bills plus 10, and thank God they got that last score against the Bengals. And we had the Colts plus 5.5, easy winner. So we were 3 wins, 2 losses. We're up several hundred. We're up almost 500 entertainment units for the season. And we got 3 teasers this week. Let's go over the card from this week, and then I'll go over the entire board. Okay. On the card, we're taking 2 teams on both cards. I like these two picks the best. And they are the Dallas Cowboys hosting the New York Giants. And I know it's the Cowboys minus 16.5. I just think the Cowboys are just going to demolish them. I'm looking for like a 44-23 or a 55-17, something like that. I smell this all over. Dallas's offense is finally clicking pretty good. Despite Dak Prescott doesn't know where the sideline is. He cost us a push last week. He steps on the line with trying to get the 2-point conversion to get it within 3. And 3 was the number. I still felt to handicap that game right, but that's last week. Entry number 1. We're taking the Dallas Cowboys minus 16. They're hosting the New York Giants, who can't score, and their offense is now one of the worst in the league. They're all in some way, in some metrics, they're worse than the New England Patriots and Carolina. Second game, a game I know I should have my head examined, and there's a lot of people are really on this game, but the ones that are on it are better handicappers than me. I'm taking the Green Bay Packers plus 3.5. They're at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know what you're thinking. Well, Jordan Love's going to meet with the T.J. Watt, the brother of J.J. Watt. I understand all that, but Matt LaFleur, I feel he's a better coach than Mike Tomlin. I know Mike Tomlin's the 3rd most tenured coach in the NFL, and he's never had a losing season. Yada yada yada. But I think Matt LaFleur finally shook the bugs out of his team. They looked pretty good against my Rams last week. I like what I saw from Green Bay. Pittsburgh, I know I picked up a quick 2K on the guy pushed me into challenging him to this bet. So I took the Steelers and they hung on against Tennessee, which I was impressed with Tennessee. So pick entry 1, we got the Dallas Cowboys minus 16.5, Green Bay plus 3.5 for at the Steel. The next game, shaking my head, holding my nose, we're taking the New York Jets minus 1. They're at the Las Vegas Raiders. I know what you're thinking. The Jets looked horrible, and I lost with them last week on both cards, whatever, on the regular picks and teaser and everything else. The Jets were bad. They just struggle on offense, but their defense is still playing pretty good. Their defense is getting a little frustrated. I can tell that I have enough experience watching the game. I can tell that there's a couple players that, okay, let the next guy make the tackle. When the Chargers put together that drive in the 4th quarter, they didn't score any points. Well, they did get a field goal. I'll take it back. But they reeled off 5 straight 3rd down plays. I could see the frustration on some of the players' faces. But this is a game that's winnable because the Raiders, hey, they were smoking cigars in the locker room. They got rid of Josh McDaniels and had a good win. Looked pretty good, right? Well, they're going to exhale. Oh, we got the Jets. We can handle them. And I'm looking for the Jets to come in there and smoke them. The next pick, we're taking the Jacksonville Jaguars plus 3 points. They're hosting the San Francisco 49ers. I know 49ers are getting Deebo Samuel back, a couple other players back. The lineman, Trent Williams, I understand they're getting all these players back. But the last time this happened, when they got Deebo Samuels and the other players back, Debo Samuels only caught two. He only targeted 4 times. These was a decoy. He only caught 2 passes. Didn't even have 20 yards, and the 49ers lost that game. I'm looking for the same thing to happen here. Jacksonville's won 5, 6 in a row. They got some momentum going. Doug Peterson is a great coach. Don't underestimate Doug Peterson, the coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the next pick, we're taking the Minnesota Vikings plus 2.5. A spread I've been struggling with all season long. We're taking the Vikings plus 2.5. They're hosting the overrated New Orleans Saints. I just think that Dennis Allen is the worst coach in the NFL this year. Anyway, that's entry number 1. So we got Dallas, Green Bay, the Jets, Jacksonville, Minnesota. Entry number 2. Same 2 picks again. Dallas Cowboys minus 16.5, hosting the Giants. Green Bay Packers plus 3.5. They're at the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we're using Dallas and Green Bay on both entries. I mean, I'm really counting on it. I like these 2 picks the best. They're my top 2 picks this week. Pick number 3, we're taking the Tennessee Titans minus 1 at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going against some heavyweight handicappers. The three big, gigantic winning handicappers that are on pregame.com, they're on Wager Talk, they're on this one, they're on that one. They're on the Mark Lawrence show now. And they're all taking Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're all thinking Baker Mayfield's going to outduel this rookie guy from Tennessee. I don't think so. I think Tennessee's got the line play. I think Tennessee's going to dominate. I mean, they should have beat the Steelers. I got lucky with that bet. The guy pushed me to making that bet, and I shouldn't let him push me. And I thought I lost $2,000 on a 2,000 unit play. Okay, gambling me. I work with charities and churches. You kidding me? Okay, the 4th game we're taking the Atlanta Falcons minus 1.5 at the Arizona Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are in a funny, weird, strange position. And I'm the only one that says it like this. That the rumor was out that everybody agreed with that the Cardinals are going to tank this season. But they started covering point spreads and they beat the Cowboys. That's their only win, right? They look good doing it too. Hey, maybe Arizona's going to try to win some games. They still were covering some games. They covered either 4 or 5 in a row. But then they started really having some serious drop-offs. I mean, they were beating the Rams at halftime, and the Rams come out and smoked them in a second. There was several games like that now. Now they're sitting there at 1 win, 9 losses, and then they traded Dobbs to the Vikings. In my opinion, he was their best player. Why would you do that? So now I'm rethinking the thing that they tank. Oh, we'll try hard. Oh, didn't do it. Now we'll tank again. So the Cardinals are tanking it. The Falcons, I think Arthur Smith is up there with this clown trying to outsink the Titanic, race at the bottom for worst coach of the NFL this year. And Arthur Smith made some blunders. He puts that running back in just for one play to take him out. I mean, he's just making some dumb moves. I think Atlanta's, they've won 3 or 4 games. Cardinals have won 1. I got to take the team that could still have an outside shot at something. Cardinals are going nowhere, and I think the Falcons. I think they got better team speed than the Cardinals. I'm laying 1.5. Again, I'm going against 2 out of the 3 big handicappers we'll talk about. They're all on the Cardinals, and they have their good reason. And I felt they handicapped the game right, but I can't worry about them. I got to worry about us. We're taking the Falcons minus 1.5. The last game, another one. I hold my nose. We're taking the Denver Broncos plus 7.5. They're at the Buffalo Bills. I look for Bills to win the game, but I think Denver's going to cover. Sean Payton's making some headways and turning that team around. And I think the first thing he did was getting this Russell Wilson, getting that little entourage he had. Hey, you're one of us now. You're one of the team. And so there was a little dynamic battle between that, and it looks like that Sean Payton's going to win that battle between him and Russell Wilson. Well, Russell Wilson's having a pretty good year, and it's showing on the stats. It's showing on the scoreboard. Now, don't look now. The Broncos have won a couple of games now, and they beat Kansas City. And we had that game. We won with that game. I could just smell it. They should have beat Kansas City the first time they played. We lost by half a point in that. They scored. It was like 9-10 nothing, whatever it was, and the Broncos finally scored. Their defense let them down in that fourth quarter. Mahomes moved right down his field. They peeled off 4 first downs, and they scored again. And it was the end. We lost that cover by just a smidgen. But the Broncos showed me something then. It's a division rivalry. They beat the Chiefs last time and beat them handily and decisively. I mean, he's got the defense playing up to its once potential. I still don't think Denver's got that great defense they keep lauding about. That's been gone a couple years ago. Been eroding ever since the decay pattern, like a stock option. Sean Payton's a defensive coach. He's offensive. Yeah, but Sean Payton's a great coach. Okay, they lured him out of retirement. And I talked about that before. I like my chances. I think I'm looking for a close game. I think the Broncos will be beating them at halftime, but Buffalo's going to be coming back. Oh, I want to talk about Buffalo just really quick here. One of these great handicappers is a fantastic handicapper. He knows how to use stats. He knows how to use numbers. What saves me against these handicappers, I have a little bit more experience than they do. They don't realize that, but that's okay. There's only 20 quarterbacks that have played in all games for these 20 teams all season. Josh Allen is one of them. Have played at least one half in every game this year. There's 20 quarterbacks. Josh Allen's one of them. He is the top-ranked accurate passer, 15 yards or less in the NFL this season. Even when there's a couple bad games they keep bitching about. Okay, but past 15 yards and further, medium-range passes and long-term passes, he is dead last at that 20. He's got a sore shoulder. He's injured. He's playing hurt. He's been on the injury list a couple times. And we went against Buffalo and we won against them. We took New England against them a couple weeks ago. We won with that one. I know I'm bragging about my few wins, but I need to concentrate on the other games and start bragging about those. But I just think that this is a good spot for a 7.5. I think it's too many points. The Broncos could win the game. I mean, Buffalo's lost a few in a row now, and their defense is decimated. If Russell Wilson could just trade punches with Josh Allen, we got to cover. So those are my 5 tickets on the 2 entries. I'll go over the whole board and go over the teaser really quick. Okay, we won with the Thursday night game. I'll put the screenshot up here where I told we were taking the Bears with money line. So essentially, I took the Panthers plus 3.5. I just felt it was too many points by half a point. Okay, these lines are that tight in the NFL this year. You need to understand that. Pick number 2. We're going with the Patriots in a big upset over the Colts. Why? Bill Belichick's never lost a Europe game as head coach. I don't know if he ratchets down the curfew. I don't know what he does. I can assume what he does. He cuts their it's coming back to me. I didn't plan this. It's not part of the script. When he has gone to overseas games before, he gets the fun out of the way. He lets them run wild for as soon as they get off the plane. Do what they want, but be at the team hotel for the meeting in the conference room at X hour, their time, whatever. And he gets it out of the way. And I think it grounds the players. Bill Belichick is the best coach in the NFL in history, and he's my favorite head coach. This is a winnable game for him. I know the Colts, I think they're one of the few teams that scored 24 points or more in every game this year. And they scored 30-some points in like 6 out of the 10 games. The Colts got pretty good offense with both the Richardson rookie that got hurt and Gardner Minshew, who I like a lot. But their defense is terrible. They're one of the worst defenses in the NFL. They give up a lot of points. And if Mac Jones can trade punches with Gardner Minshew and just go back and forth, I look for Bill Belichick to pull a rabbit out of his hat. And this kind of game reminds me of who's got the ball last, and the way Bill Belichick's going to scheme his offense and his defense. I think Patriots is going to come out on top. And the line's going down. It was Colts minus 3.5. Now it's down to -1. What's that telling you? Next game, Ravens -6 versus the Browns. I know Baltimore's probably a top-ranked team. I did hear a strange stat. I heard that the Ravens, at the first 9 games of the season, are the 3rd-ranked team of all time between offense and defense. And the first team is the 2008 Patriots that they wound up 16-0 regular season. They were slapping everybody in the NFL. And in 1991, Washington Redskins. And Joe Gibbs had these awesome Redskin teams. They slapped everybody. One year they were 14-2, and their 2 losses were by 1 point, both on Monday Night Football. But they lost to my Raiders in the Super Bowl. That was 84, I think it was. But 1991, they had an awesome team too. That was a 2nd-ranked team after 9 weeks. Now the Ravens are a 3rd-ranked team. Okay, but guess what? These teams, they didn't win a Super Bowl, did they? So that scares me. They slapped the Browns before. The Browns having trouble. But now the Browns got their defense playing very well. As a matter of fact, I think the Browns got the top-ranked defense in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken. Even higher than the Ravens. I'm looking for a close divisional game. Jim Harbaugh's not going to show everything here, because they may have to play him in the wild card round or whatever. If one team wins, the other one's a wild card. They may have to face a 3rd time. Jim Harbaugh's a very, very good coach. and to keep Lamar Jackson healthy. So, but we're taking the Browns +6. We're just looking for a close game. Division matchup. Next game, Cincinnati Bengals -6.5 versus Houston Texans. I'm changing this pick. I was going to go with Houston. I'm changing my mind. I think Joe Burrow is going to slice and dice this inexperienced and rookie team and rookie offense with C.J. Stroud. He hasn't seen a team like the Bengals, although their defense has taken a step back, but they're still pretty good. Hendrickson's going to be sacking. Hendrickson's going to say, "Let me introduce myself. My name is Hendrickson. I'm the best defensive tackle for this team. Welcome aboard to the NFL, sir." And he's gonna gas them. I think the Bengals are going to just slice and dice the Texans. Though the Texans are good enough to keep it close the first half, they're going to go away the second half. Bengals covered at 6.5. Next game, San Francisco 49ers -3 at Jacksonville Jaguars. We're taking the Jaguars +3 to upset. I know the 49ers are getting Deebo Samuel back. I know they're getting Trent Williams back and another safety back. I know they're getting the players back. But the last time this happened, when Deebo Samuel was out for a couple of games and he came back, he caught 2 passes for 18 yards. He only targeted 4 times. He used him as a decoy, and the 49ers got trounced. I'm looking for the same thing to happen here. Jacksonville's won 5 in a row. Doug Peterson's he's a good momentum coach. He's a good head coach. He's better than Chowderhead for 49ers. Next game is New Orleans Saints -2.5 Minnesota Vikings. We got the Vikings on entry number 1 card. We're taking the Vikings at home dog. A very rare home dog we're taking. The Saints -2.5. I just think Saints are overrated. I think Dennis Allen and this Arthur Smith of the Falcons, they're trying to oust the Titanic for worst coach of the year. I'm taking the Vikings. I think Josh Dobbs is going to do it again. I think the Saints is just overrated. They got a good defense, but they ain't got much else. I know Derek Carr is trying to play well, but they're just too inconsistent. Next game, we're taking the Green Bay Packers +3.5. They're at the Steelers. We already talked about that game. I think Matt LaFleur, the top nerd coach of the current NFL, shakes some of the rust off, shakes some of the scabs off, and he's got the team playing pretty well. Steelers, they're overrated. They should have lost against Tennessee last week. I think Steelers are they're in the midseason funk. They've been outgained every game this season, yet they're 5-3. All 4 teams in the AFC North will be in the playoffs as the playoffs were held today. And if you've been paying attention to my videos, I told you that this might happen. All 4 of these teams are very capable and very good. But the Steelers, I think, were the worst team in that division. But they're still pretty good. But we think the Green Bay with 3.5, I think it's too many points. Green Bay's going to cover this game. Next game, we're taking Tennessee Titans -1 at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going against 3 great handicappers here. They're all on the Bucks, but I'm taking Tennessee. I like what I saw at Tennessee. I should have lost that game. I took the guy dared me to take the Titans, put my money. I took the Steelers against the Titans. He told me to put my money where my mouth was, so I put 2,000 on the Steelers. The 4th and 7, Tennessee converted. Oh my God! And I'm watching the game with no sound. I'm watching it outside. I'm watching the window in the room 10 feet away. I was at work, and I thought, well, I'm going to lose this game. But the Steelers hung on. But they should have lost that game. I think the Buccaneers are going to their tailspin now. I knew Baker Mayfield was too good to be true. I like the Scott and Titans. And he's too much of a rookie, too young enough to be told he's supposed to lose this game. He's going to win this game. I think the Titans have got a fighting chance. I know I wrote the Titans off a couple weeks ago, but this is a game that they should be able to win. Next game, we're taking the Falcons -1.5 at the Arizona Cardinals. Once again, the Falcons, they can still win this division if they go on a run. That's how bad the NFC South is. And the Cardinals are they're tanking. Then they were trying to win. They beat the Cowboys. Hey, look, we've covered 4 in a row. Then the wheels fall off again when they played the Rams, a couple other teams. And they traded away their best player, Dobbs. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? We're taking the Falcons. The Chinese lady called it the Atlanta Falcons. So I call the Falcons. So she's a pretty good handicapper for a female. Next game, we're taking the Las Vegas Chargers, against my better judgment, against Detroit Lions -3. I know Lions are a good team, but they might be in a midseason funk. Chargers look, that Keenan. Do you see that Keenan Allen plays? That catchy on 3rd down too. That was impressive. I mean, he might be the best receiver in football. This guy is just amazing. And I know that one play shouldn't define a team. And I know the Lions are great, and I've been rooting for the Lions for most of the season. But you know what? I think the Chargers at home, it's another home dog. But you know what? And the home dogs, they got skunked last week. But I think this week a couple of home dogs are going to do it. And this is one of them. I think the Chargers are going to come out. I think they're going to win this game. I think their offense is good enough to score in the Lions' defense, and I think the Chargers are going to wake up just enough to slow them down. It's who can get the extra stop. And this is the modern day NFL. The teams were all pretty close. This parity that Pete Rozelle used to get hard on about. So, I mean, the parity is here. The teams were pretty close. And I'm taking the Chargers. Next game, Cowboys at home, minus 6.5 against the Giants. I already talked about it. I got them on both my entries here. I'm really gambling on this game here. I'm looking for the Dallas Cowboys to take out the frustration about the Philadelphia Eagle game, take on the Giants. That look on Brian Daboll. So one of my other videos, I got the Wile E. Coyote look. He's on the sideline. He just, and that song kept playing on my head. That big blonde, that real pretty blonde. That had that song. It's a heartache. Bonnie Tyler, real great singer. That losing look, And I think Daboll, he doesn't want to be there on this team. The Giants, they blew their wad against the Jets. Thank God, and we got lucky on that game. I think the Giants just quit. I think they quit on them. Dallas is not quitting. They're angry. I like what I saw when I saw that. And I keep telling people that Dak Prescott's not what you think he is, and he cost us a push by stepping on our line with a 2-point conversion. Cost us a possibly could have won the game because they played differently, knowing you only need a field goal versus a touchdown. I mean, you might have got the field goal and got an onside kick or won it in overtime. Him stepping on that line like that was a dumb, bonehead play. Anyway, we're taking the Cowboys. He won't need to try the 2-point conversion this week. They're just going to outright gas them. And they don't like each other either. It's a division rivalry. Next game, Seahawks minus 6.5 versus Commanders. I'm changing my pick here again, too. I was going to take the Washington Commanders 6.5 generous points. Seahawks come off that badass loss. Maybe they're in his midseason slump. But Pete Carroll's a pretty good coach. I've never seen Pete Carroll's team go on a severe slump unless they were having a bad season. They had a bad team. I think he's going to have his team ready to play. And I think they're going to smoke the Commanders. I'll change my mind. I'm taking the Seahawks at home. And it's another favorite. And by the way, it's not part of the script. The favorites are destroying the dogs this year. And I think in week 1 or week 2 I talked about that. That I had a feeling it was going to be a favorites year. I don't know why I had that feeling. I don't know why I'm even putting on the script because it's hard for me to prove this. But if you go back in one of my videos, I'll talk about this. That the favorites are just slapping, even though the teams are close. The lines are that tight. You really got to get the best number. But we're working with the contest. The lines are set. Anyway, next game, we're taking New York Jets -1 at the Raiders. Like I talked about on my card, the Raiders, they're smoking cigars in the locker room. We got rid of Josh Allen. We got our man now. Despite his other stuff that he did was kind of dog. He did something with a dog years ago. New York Post come out with a thing about this guy, this interim coach for the Raiders. And the Raiders got some good players on the team, but you know what? That look on Robert Saleh's face against the Chargers, a game we got beat on last week. I mean, he was not happy. He's going to figure out a way. Just if they can score 17 points, 2 touchdowns and a field goal, they'll beat the Raiders. Their defense is going to play just good enough to slow down this Raiders team. Raiders are fat and happy. They act like they won their Super Bowl last week. So I'm looking for a letdown spot on the Raiders. Still don't think the Raiders are that good of a team. I still think the Jets are still the better team. I think Robert Saleh is a better coach than this interim guy. We're taking the Jets. Last game I got to spend a little bit of time on. We're taking the Broncos +7.5 against Buffalo Bills. But I think I already talked about this game we're taking Denver on the last card. Okay, now we're going to get to the teasers. Only 3 teasers this week. 6-point teasers because the juice is so high. We got to start cutting down on the juice. We'd be way up if I had a better book, a better place to do teasers. And next year, if I can't talk this guy and lower the price, I'll be going somewhere else. The first pick we're going to take, we're going to knock off the 6 points, and we're going to take the Ravens just to win the game, just win the game, and then we're going to knock off 6 points off the Bengals game. So teaser number 1, we're taking 2 big favorites. We're taking the Ravens, and we're taking the Bengals. And the Ravens game, I'm doing kind of a middle because I'm taking the Browns as a regular pick, or Browns +6, but I'm taking Ravens to win the game. So we'll see what happens. And if I ever get a chance to play for middle, I don't care who's playing who, I always do it. Next teaser, we're taking the Jacksonville Jaguars +9. They're hosting the 49ers. And we're taking the Minnesota Vikings +8.5. They're hosting the Saints. I like that teaser. The third and final teaser, we're taking the Green Bay Packers plus 9.5, and we're taking the Titans plus 5 at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Enjoy the games. My granddaughter leaves in 10 days. They're moving to Happy Valley, Oregon. My son-in-law is retired. They're doing very well. When you're a parent, you want your children to do better than you. That's nature. If you really love your children. But this is my only grandchild, and I never thought she'd be moving away. So I won't be able to watch the games for a couple more weeks. Thank you, players. Enjoy the NFL. Enjoy the games. Happy Veterans Day. This is being filmed on Veterans Day. Veterans Day is my favorite holiday. It just is. That's a different video for a different day, a different channel. Everybody that's followed me knows how I am about my country. Thank you. God bless America. God bless the NFL. Stay safe. Happy holidays. Be a happy American. Thank you and have a good day.